everyone, my name is Nugent, and I am doing my strategic plan presentation for my leadership class 620 for Grand Canyon University. And today we are talking about the emergency department ICU transfer throughput project. My audience is the executive team, other directors, as well as some of the participants that helped us create this plan. As we know, our emergency department is negatively affected when we are holding our ICU patients. And the reason for that is that we are unable to then bring in more emergency department patients, and the ICU patients that should be in the intensive care unit are still holding in the ED. Currently, even after the bed is ready, we have about a 60-minute window of time where the patient still is in the emergency department, unable to be transported up to the ICU. So we need to change that. Our goal is 30 minutes or less once the bed is ready in the intensive care unit to be able to get our patient out of the ED. We conducted a SWOT analysis trying to find out some of our opportunities for our strategic goal. And we decided we are going to do a 90-day trial period. And what we discovered was our strengths. Obviously, we have a great reputation as an organization, as a department. We take excellent care of our patients. And we work together well as a team, and the whole team wanted to be on board with this project. Some of our opportunities, as I mentioned, we are holding the intensive care patient in the emergency department for an average of 60 minutes, even after the bed is ready in the intensive care unit. And we want to shrink that down to 30 minutes or less. We realized we don't have a process to expedite the transfer of those patients. It also creates staff dissatisfaction on both ends, as well as it is a revenue loss basically for the emergency department because we are unable to take in more of those patients. And so we had to come up with something. For our strategic map, again, it's our performance improvement goals. In order to improve our throughput, it also decreases the amount of patients that leave the emergency room, and it also will help us in decreasing the liability of the patients that are waiting that have not been medically screened, so we don't even know what's wrong with them, as well as getting our ICU patients where they need to be. For our customer service, again, it's going to improve the quality of care for the families, the patients, getting the ICU patient promptly to the intensive care unit. We're going to be working together as a team and achieving our target of 30 minutes or less, and we feel that we will learn and grow as a team as we collaborate and work together and work through some of the barriers. And some of our internal business goals, again, are to be the pilot for maybe the rest of the units coming on board. They can then somehow, we can create something that works for that unit as well. For our team members, we wanted to know, obviously it requires stakeholder interest and buy-in, so who should be part of the team? And according to Cotter and Cohen, the most important aspect of a guiding coalition is its diversity. So for us, we needed to have members of both units, the emergency department and the intensive care unit. So we have nurses from both sides. We have nurses from the day shift, from the night shift. We have the charge nurses on board from day shift and night shift, as well as both directors for the intensive care unit and the emergency department. We will be presenting our vision at each departmental staff meeting, both in the intensive care unit and the emergency department. One-on-one face discussions are important as the project is beginning, during the project, and post-implementation as well. We're going to be talking about this. It will be a standing agenda item in our shift huddles. We will have small group meetings, and we will also vet this through our shared governance, respective departments, and email any updates. So again, what is our current state? We will come up with a detailed process map. And what are we measuring? We are measuring from the time the bed is ready in the intensive care unit to the time the patient leaves the emergency department. That is our goal of 30 minutes or less. And what the staff will be using is called an audit tool. It's called the Kanban card that they're very familiar with. As you can see by them shaking their head in the room, they're very familiar with this audit tool. So that is what we are going to be using. We are going to be analyzing what those gaps are and why the reason for the barriers, and working through getting those corrected as we move along our project. Our implementation plan, again, as a team, we're going to decide on our go live date, and the process map is being built by the team, and it is here below. It is going to be the charge nurse from the ED to the charge nurse in the ICU report. The emergency department will be responsible for having the ICU patient ready to go. Respiratory will be there if they need to be there. Everybody will need to be there. And then the patient will be ready to go. The ICU then nurse will come down. There will be face-to-face report given. And again, our goal is 30 minutes or less once the bed is ready. And any issues that we have with communication, there'll be ongoing issues if there's any outliers or reasons why the nurse can't come down from the ICU to get the patient upstairs. Sustainability, we're going to be posting our weekly metrics on both units, and so they'll be able to see that based on those Kanban cards, all the data, that how it was extrapolated, and we will put it then in graph format. We will have ongoing communication and discussions. The leaders will be rounding with the staff and trying to address any issues that are coming along, if there are any, as we go live. And again, for us to sustain this project and implement it, it's going to require a successful team. And both teams, we're grateful to both of their participations, and that's why they were here today. They want to present this to you, and we will celebrate success, each and every little win, until we get to our target or surpass it. And that is my presentation. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you for your time.